Today, we are going to learn a technique or concept called reframing and how to handle team conflicts effectively. Reframing, simply put, it's how you see things differently. Reframing is seeing the current situation from a different perspective, which can be tremendously helpful in solving problems or conflicts, making decisions, learning, and coaching others. So as an OKR coach, this is one of the most important skills that you will need to learn to help your team to see things from a different angle and gain new insights on how to improve their performance with regards to achieving the OKR. Let me give you an example of reframing. See, when people get stuck in a recurring issue, for example, in a complex situation or in solving a complex problem, so it is rarely because they are missing a certain step-by-step procedures to fix things. Instead, it is often because they are stuck in how they see the situation. So when someone couldn't close a sale, instead of blaming himself or having doubts about his own ability, you can help them to reframe it as he has not found the right way to close the deal. So the most famous example of reframing is when Thomas Edison was asked by a reporter. By the way, as an inventor, Thomas Edison had made 1,000 unsuccessful attempts in inventing the light bulb. So when a reporter asked him, how did it feel to fail 1,000 times? Edison replied, I don't fail 1,000 times. The light bulb was an invention with 1,000 steps. So basically he was saying, I have found 1,000 ways that won't work. I have not failed. So reframing can be used in solving a team conflict situation. People who are in conflict often describe their conflict in a negative manner, especially from the perspective of others. So usually accompanied by emotional content or designed for emotional impact. Reframing is a technique to reword or restate what each staff has to say in a more constructive way. This helps the team members who are in conflict to re-evaluate their perspective, to clarify what is important to them in the conflict situation, and to help them to clear the air. Why is it important to learn reframing? What are the benefits? The aim of reframing is to shift one perspective to be more empowered to act, and hopefully to learn at the same time. Also, many times, merely reframing one's perspective in a situation can actually help people to change how they feel about a situation and towards another person as well. Remember, reframing doesn't change the situations you are facing or the people you are dealing with. It changes your responses to those realities, enabling you to deal with them in a productive and positive way. By taking a more flexible and open-minded approach, positive reframing can help you to achieve the following. The first one, it helps you to reduce stress and then be more resilient, and also it improves your relationship, and you can see and act on new opportunities and be more thoughtful, forgiving, and more open-minded. And also it helps you to find greater happiness in life and cultivate creative and critical thinking skills. Let's talk about how to reframe an event and situations. When a change happens, instead of focusing on what could go wrong for you, think about the new opportunity for change that might present. When you suffer a setback, instead of catastrophizing and seeing a steady downward path ahead, look for ways to turn the situation around. Look for the humor in tough situations. Find ways to laugh at what's absurd while working to make the best of a difficult time. Instead of feeling defeated and hopeless, think about where you can take action, even a small first step to start making a situation better. Avoid words like can't and impossible, when thinking about a challenge. Recognize that it may be difficult, but assume that you can do it. Think of the stress from a new challenge as a form of energy, invigorating and exciting rather than draining. The goal here is to step back from a narrow and negative view of a situation and look for new perspectives that can lead to opportunities and personal growth. Now let's talk about reframing your perception or other people. Yeah? So instead of seeing someone as impulsive, see them as spontaneous. Instead of seeing someone as stubborn, see them as committed and persistent. Instead of seeing someone as fearful, see them as thoughtful and careful. Now it's practice time again, so let's do some reframing exercise. Now I want you to reframe the statements on the left to something more positive. If someone say, I just can't seem to get past that. So what you could reframe is, what is one small step that you could take? All right, so now I want you to complete the rest of the reframing exercise to reframe all this statement in a positive way. Here are a few additional tips for you if you keep having the negative thoughts or running into conflict situations. So when you catch yourself in these thought patterns, make a concerted effort to replace those negative reactions with more positive and open-minded view of the situations. What might be another explanation for this? How might that new view open the door to another something positive? Remember, always look for what you can change, what's within your span of control, rather than what you cannot change. That's really important, please remember that. And making times to think about what you are grateful for is another form of positive reframing. It pushes your thinking from the negative to the positive aspect of life to remind you of what is going well. When two employees are in conflict, ask each of them, what do you appreciate most about him? Or what do you think he likes about you? So it is important to help the conflicting parties to identify the issues that needs to be resolved. So this can be a start of building an agenda to emphasize on finding a common ground. So to be an effective OKR coach, we need to start practicing the techniques of reframing so that we can help to turn a negative situation into a productive one.